for the beginning. Yep. Okay, so part 2. We'll continue. InMendham's famous they just gotta get rid of. Like the gotta stop that shit. So anyway, I think we're on fair economics, but whether we are or not, that's where we're going to continue from. So yeah, I've got a channel, Fair Economics. Done a whole bunch of videos on the economy. I've pointed out how the economy works, the debt thing, that it's not about the Fed, it's not about printing money, it's about borrowing way too fucking much money. It's about making surplus more valuable than a worker. It's about preposterous inheritance policy that is essentially birthright, where we allow people to inherit the gain of their risk, but for some bizarre reason, we let people go bankrupt and put the risk on the public. The public ends up paying through higher prices for both borrowing money and for consumer products, because somebody's got to pay for all the freeloaders who risked it and then, failed. So why don't we allow a simple inheritance tax where all bankruptcy, all failure of risk is paid through that inheritance tax. The reason why we don't do that? Oh, it's because guess what? There wouldn't be anything left to inherit. That's why. And we'd finally abolish this birthright crap once and for all. So who else is bringing that subject up a lot? Tommy. Anybody? No. Me. That's right. InMendham. Not you comics. Not you funny guys with all the views. Not you useless distractions from the goddamn subjects that people should be paying attention to. Not you useless fucked-hearted asswipe bastards. Sorry, I got the Brett Keane video still in my fucking head. Man, you people suck. But anyway, next. All right, instant runoff voting. IR voting. The other channel. Okay. 2 ideas. All right, instant runoff voting, not an original idea, but a very good idea. Something that needs to be supported, needs to be argued for, needs to be defended. I've done that. But I take it a step further and point out how the real flaw in our democracy is using geographic districts to decide the composition of legislative bodies, and how that completely fucks the system, because the same majority gets elected, the same two-party system owns it. It's a trap. It's a dead end. If you have to let people vote their ideology. You can't confine them to a geographic choice, because then you have nothing. You have no choice. Like I said, it's the same two-party system vote. No point in having a legislature, because that legislature won't have cigarette smokers in it. It won't have atheists in it. It's just going to have the same generic baby-kissing, lying, shyster crook, because the same majority will control, essentially, the entire body. And so even though you look a little superficially different, they're all the same lying piece of crap. And we won't have any real choice till we get rid of that crap. We'll never get rid of the pork and the special interest politics till we get rid of that geographic hold, because it ends up just being where once you build an Air Force base, it's always going to have a representative. It's always going to have a congressman to defend it. We got to get rid of that shit. The Congress and the Senate have to work for the national interest, not a bunch of individual state interests, not district interests. That's crap. It's got to be about ideology, not goddamn fucking geography. So who else is talking about that? Who else on the fucking planet Earth has brought that fucking subject up? Nobody, as far as I know. I'm it. All right? Original idea. Brilliant idea. We got to work on this shit. We got to get this shit done. All right. Tobacco tax tyranny. All right, another fucking video site where I point out how the cigarette tax is completely unconstitutional. It's the most excessive, grotesque exploitation tax in the history of mankind. No substance has ever been taxed so disproportionately. They couldn't use such a policy during Prohibition. This is the most obvious argument why it's unconstitutional. Back when they prohibited alcohol, they had to go through a whole constitutional amendment process. If it would have been just as simple for them just to raise the tax $100 on an ounce, they could have done that by today's standards. How come it was unconstitutional then and it's not unconstitutional now? It's not because the law changed, it's not because they rewrote the Constitution. No, it's because of the goddamn dirty, stinking politics that keeps cigarette smokers out of the United States Congress and out of the United States Senate. They have no representation. It's taxation without representation. It's complete exploitation. It's complete fucking bullshit abuse, majority abuse, unconstitutional, a majority abuse of the tax code, plain and fucking simple. Who else has been making those arguments, Tommy? I haven't heard you make, at least not an eloquent argument on the subject. So anyway, all right, next. Injustice for most. All right, it's related to the cigarette thing in the sense that it's another channel devoted to the fact that the only thing that defines our Constitution is the courts. And if we let them be broken, we have nothing. We have no Constitution. We have no republic. Without an honest judicial system, we are fucked. And we have a completely dishonest, corrupt, lying, cheating, stealing, bastard court system. All the judges have to be replaced. They've been put in through political patronage. It's all a special deal kind of game. Your wife has to work for the party, or you're never going to become a judge. It's a disgusting game that they're playing. They're all liars. They've got to be forced to take polygraph tests. There's got to be some kind of accountability. Instead of more accountability, they're giving themselves less accountability. They've given themselves immunity from prosecution. They can violate your rights on purpose, maliciously, and you can't do one goddamn thing about it. Even though you can prove it, you can't do anything about it. That is disgusting. Grotesque. They've redefined the 10th Amendment to mean that every sovereign in every state, that means every police force, every government official is immune. Every state official is immune from prosecution. They can violate your rights on purpose, maliciously. You can prove it. It doesn't matter. You can't do a goddamn thing about it. The only thing you can sue now are municipalities. It's the last thing left. And you can't do that either because the state courts are also full of a bunch of politicians. They're not judges. They're crooked, motherfucking lying politicians. All right. Who else has brought that subject up, Tommy? Who's brought up unpublished decisions and how it's ruined the idea of legal precedent and completely destroyed our constitutional right to equal and due process, fair process. Completely blew it up because now they don't have to write a decision. They don't have to explain the legal precedent they base their decision on. They can just give you one standard of justice when you show up and then give another guy a different standard when he shows up. Completely destroying the whole justice system. All right. Who, Tommy? Who brought that subject up? Who's talking about it, Tommy? Oh, that's right, InMendham. Nobody else. All right. Then there was the best idea contest where I put my money where my mouth is. All right. I haven't paid it out yet, just logistics. Got to get other people's money. But perfectly good idea. Get people to start, thinking up some good ideas. Make some videos that mean something. Not a bunch of silly goddamn joke videos. Silly, incoherent videos about why Obama's a bad guy because he isn't forcing the states to, limit their state sales tax or some other nonsense. Instead we have some kind of intelligent videos describing some kind of practical ideas that can hold up to a little bit of scrutiny. So yeah, who else tried to do that? Who else tried to inspire a little bit better quality, a little harder work from people? Yeah, that's right, InMendham. Not Tommy from the Bronx, not the Amazing Atheist, not Thunderfoot, not DPR Jones, not any of these fucking useless pieces of shit. No, InMendham. All right, so fuck you and your criticism, okay? You deserve criticism. You make useless videos, more than half of which, 90% of which you delete because they're such crap. I, on the other hand, have made, 1,700 videos. Haven't deleted any of them. Well, the only thing I did is I unfavored one video once. That's it. Unfeatured. So yeah, let's measure those two accomplishments. Yeah, I make 10-minute videos about real subjects. I don't sit around and just say fuck this and fuck that for no good reason. If I say fuck, I mean it. If I say bastard, I mean it. It's not some fucking kind of joke. I'm not doing it for shock value. I'm doing it because I'm a goddamn motherfucking pissed off bastard. That's why I'm doing it. Because this goddamn world sucks, and it sucks because people like you can't take anything goddamn seriously. You're all a bunch of fucking goddamn assholes walking around thinking everything's going to change all by its fucking self. Nobody has to get serious ever. We can all play in the sandbox for goddamn ever, and everything's going to work out just the fuck fine. Well, guess what? That ain't going to fucking goddamn happen. People have to get a little bit fucking serious. They have to mean what they goddamn say. They have to talk about something relevant and have a decent argument about it. All right, I gotta lay off all this pansy crap where they find some excuse to run away from the argument. I'm gonna delete my videos because, well, nah, fuck that shit. All right, so there. I think that's it. So that's the part 2. It's hot, so sorry. Really hot. It's nice at all. I'm not complaining. I like it warm. And it is warm and steamy. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, really. Whew, that was a good rant. Felt good. So, till next time. Fuck you, Tommy.